So please begin by lying down on your mat, and if you need a bit of support underneath the head, of course, please take it, just to make sure you have length in the back of the neck. And begin with the legs long and just a comfortable distance apart. And once you have the legs long, just roll the head a little bit from one side to the other, just to check how easy it is to roll the head to the right, say, compared to the left. And then come to centre with the head and eyes, and then bring your attention to your right foot, and just as the leg lies, without correcting it, just begin to gently point and flex the foot. So when you point the foot, you send the toes away from you, and when you flex the foot, you draw the toes towards the head and send the heel away from you. So just gently pointing and flexing the right foot a few times. And just to remind you, when you flex the foot, careful to keep the heel actually in contact with the floor so that you're not hyperextending into the knee. And then pause, and then bring your attention to your left foot, and just again as the leg lies, begin just to point and flex the left foot. So as you flex the foot, we're lengthening out the calf muscles. As you point the foot, lengthening out some of the shin muscles. And then pause, put your imaginary felt tip markers on your big toes, and then begin to trace some circles in space with your imaginary markers. So both feet going at the same time, and allowing the heels to be part of these circles. And again, just keeping the heels in contact with the mat, and you'll feel how the movement begins to reverberate along the leg into the knee and into the hip and into the pelvis. And then just reverse the direction of these circles, still thinking of the big toe sides of the feet leading the movement. And then pause and put the markers in your imagination on your little toes, and then again just begin to track some circles in space, but thinking of the little toe sides of the feet leading the movement. And then reverse those circles, big generous circles leading with the little toe. And then pause, stay on the centre of the back of the heel, so your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, and then curl the toes under, but without pointing the feet, just as if you're trying to pick up a pencil with the toes. And then think of spreading out the toes, creating space between each toe, and then curl the toes under. Think of spreading them apart, and then once more curling them under, and then think of spreading them apart. And then pause, stay on the centre of the back of the heels, and then just show the soles of the feet towards each other and then away from each other. So towards each other and away from each other, once more towards each other and then away from each other. And then please bring both legs to standing. And once more, imagine you have a clock painted on the back of your pants on your sacrum area. 12 o'clock is towards the head and 6 o'clock is towards the feet. Could you begin to press through the feet to roll to 12 o'clock with the pelvis, and then you think of the feet becoming light to go to 6 o'clock. So just press down into both feet evenly to roll the pelvis and the lower back towards the floor, and when you go to 6 o'clock you're arching the lower back. And once you've got used to the idea of using the feet and the legs to help you, see if you can also begin to think of using your tummy muscles so that you pull in that spot 2 inches below the navel to go to 12, and then you push out that spot 2 inches below the navel to go to 6 o'clock. So just arching and curling the lower back a few more times. And then pause in the middle. Bring your right hand behind the back of the head. Bring your right knee in towards the chest. So you remember this exercise, you can imagine there's a ladybird on the knee just moving around. you take a breath in, and as you breathe out, use the out breath, you try and bring the elbow and the knee towards each other, and then as you inhale, you release the head and shoulders back down. So again, take a breath in to begin with. As you exhale, try to bring the elbow and the knee towards each other, and then you inhale to release the head and shoulders back down. And again, take a breath in, and as you breathe, breathe out, you lift the head and shoulders. So ideally there's no strain in the neck because your head is supported by your arm, and you're allowing the ribs to soften, so you fold in the middle to bring those 2 points closer together. Now pause, put the right foot down, bring the left knee in towards the chest, still with the right hand behind the back of the head. Take a breath in. As you exhale, try and fold the elbow and the knee towards each other, and then release. Now you can add a flexing of the foot as well to help you get this pattern of flexion. So as you bring the elbow and the knee together, you just flex the left foot to see if that helps. Just bring them a little bit closer together, and then one more time, inhale, exhaling, and then release. Now keep the left leg in and just change the hands. So it's the right hand on the left knee, left hand is behind the back of the head. Take a breath in. As you exhale, fold the elbow and the knee towards each other. Inhale to release the head and shoulders back down. Okay, take a breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale to release back down. And you remember, because that imaginary ladybird is just moving around, each time you just aim the elbow to a slightly different spot on the knee, even if they're not touching, just to change the trajectory a little bit. Now pause and then switch legs. So it's right leg in, left hand still behind the back of the head. Take a breath in. As you exhale, fold together, and then inhale to release back down. So just warming up the abdominal area. Take a breath in, exhale, fold, inhale to release back down. And we've just got 2 more to do. So take a breath in, exhale, fold, inhale to come back down. And then last time, take a breath in, exhale, blow the air out, flexing the foot, inhale to release back down. Now from here, bring both legs in towards the chest, wrap your right forearm behind the backs of the thighs, backs of the knees if you can. The lower legs just dangle to begin with. Left hand is behind the back of the head. Take a breath in. As you exhale, stretch as if you're sliding the heels straight up the wall towards the ceiling. As you lift the head and shoulders, inhale to release back down. Okay, take a breath in. Exhale, stretch the heels up, inhale to release back down. Just got 1 more to do. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lift the head and shoulders, look at the tummy, inhale to come back down. And then just switch the arms around. So it's the left arm behind the backs of the thighs, right hand behind the back of the head. Take a good breath in. As you exhale, lift the head and shoulders, look at the tummy. As you stretch the heels up, inhale to come back down. We've just got 2 more to do. Take a breath in, exhale to stretch up, inhale to release back down, and then last time, inhale, exhale, stretch up, inhale to fold back down. Now bring both legs back down by the onto the floor, and then lengthen your left leg. You keep the right leg bent, have the arms down by your side to begin with, and begin this movement of pressing down into the right foot so as to try to roll the pelvis towards the left, and then you let the pelvis come back down. So you press into the right foot so as to roll the pelvis towards the left, and you let the pelvis roll back down again. Thing to be careful of is, have you got the right foot in the best place? If it's too close to the left leg, it won't be as effective, so you might need to take the right foot out to the side, and as you press into the right foot, try to keep the knee looking towards the ceiling. and it's the thought of the right thigh lengthening towards the right toes that will help you to do that and to open out that hip joint. Good. Now, the next time the pelvis is down, pause there. Bring your left hand out to the side at shoulder height. Palm is turned towards the ceiling. Have the right hand on your breastbone and begin to reach the right fingers along the left arm. So you feel how the chest has to soften. You turn the head and eyes to look towards the hands, and you press into the right foot as necessary to help you bring the hands closer together, and then transition, roll slowly back onto the back so that you don't fall onto the back. You're transferring your weight. So again, you take a breath in. As you exhale, you keep the right fingers in contact with yourself as you just caress that arm along the left arm, pressing into the foot. And then you soften the chest, you roll back onto the back. And two more like this. So just nice, easy breathing, checking the jaw is free of tension, the eyes are soft, and then you come back. Good. And then last time, again, reaching, turning the head and eyes, pressing into the foot to help you, and then you return to the back. Now, if your shoulder mobility permits, take your left arm a little bit higher on the floor, so it's sort of reaching above the line of the shoulder, and begin again to reach with the right hand along the left arm, still turning the head and eyes to look where you're going, and then you come back. And each time you come onto the back, you can take the left arm a little bit higher on the floor as you continue to reach the right hand towards the left, turning the head and eyes to see all the time. And then by increments, some of you will be able to bring that left arm more or less in line with the left leg as you reach the hands together, and then you come back. Just do two more like this in your own time. Again, nice, easy breathing. It's one of my favourite ways of waking up the system in the morning, this stretch and mobilisation. Now, after your last one, pause, bring the arms down by the side, and then change the legs around. So keep the arms down by the side to begin with. So you're just exploring, have you got the left foot in the right place? Again, if it's too close to the right leg, you'll need to move it out to the side. And just explore, can you press down into that foot as if you're pushing the earth away to try and roll the pelvis towards the right, and then you let the pelvis roll back down. Initially, as you're exploring this, you're trying to keep the left shoulder heavy. So we're not rolling onto the side yet, just seeing, can you differentiate the pelvis from the upper part of the chest? And you'll know if you can keep that left shoulder heavy. Good. Now pause, and then take the right arm out to the side at shoulder height, palm looking towards the ceiling. Bring the left hand onto the breastbone, and then begin to reach the left hand across yourself towards the right hand, turning the head and eyes, pushing down into the left foot as necessary, and then you roll slowly back onto the side. So again, reach, turn the head and eyes, press into the foot, and then transition slowly back onto the back. And then one more time like this, just with the arm out to the side, reach and turn, and then come back. And then once you've got used to that movement, again, if your shoulder permits, begin to take the right arm a little bit higher on the floor, just by increments as you reach the hands together, and then you come on to the back. Good. And eventually, some of you again, you just take the arm as high, the right arm as high as you can comfortably get it, but some of you will be able to bring it in line with that right leg as you explore this movement. Again, just do one more, nice easy breathing, turning the head and eyes, and then come back. Good. So after your last one, just bring the arms back down by the side and bend both knees. And then once more, think of going to 12 o'clock. So you pull in that spot 2 inches below the navel to make sure your upper part of the sacrum, the lower back, is close to the floor. And see if you can keep that as you inhale to bring the right knee in over the chest. And then as you exhale, just put that foot back down without letting the lower back arch. And then inhale to pick the left knee in over the chest. And then exhale, put that foot straight back down. And then let the pelvis come back to neutral. So you take a breath in. As you exhale, think of pulling in that spot 2 inches below the navel to bring the lower back close to the floor. And then inhale to pick the right leg, the right knee in towards the chest. And then exhale, put that foot back down. And then inhale to bring the left knee in towards the chest. And then exhale, put that foot back down. And then just let the pelvis go for a second. So the idea here is you're really trying to keep your pelvis, your back heavy into the floor as you pick up the legs. So again, take a breath in. Exhale, pull in that spot 2 inches below the navel to stabilise the pelvis. Keep the ribs soft. And then inhale to pick the right leg in towards the chest. Now see if you can keep it there. And without arching the back, bring the left leg in to join it. Now, and then as you exhale, put the right foot back down without letting the lower back arch. Keep the lower back down as you put the left leg back down, and then release the effort in the pelvis. And again, take a breath in. Exhale, pull in that spot 2 inches below the navel to stabilise yourself in 12 o'clock. Inhale to float the right leg in towards the chest. Keep it there as you bring the left leg in. Now, once you've got both legs in, try to keep the thighs in close towards the chest. It will help you to keep the lower back down. And now, as you inhale, can you just reach the right toes down towards the mat as though you're just dipping them into water. And then exhale, bring that leg back up. And then inhale, you just let the left toes as if they're just dipping down into water, and then exhale, come back up. Again, keep the thighs in close to the chest. And now the ball of the right foot reaches down towards the mat, as if again as though you're just testing the temperature of water. Exhale, bring it back up. And then the ball of the left foot reaches down towards the mat, and then exhale, come back up. And now the heel of the right leg floats down as if to test the temperature of water and come back up. And then the heel of the left foot goes down. Exhale, come back up. And then carefully put the right foot down without arching the lower back, and then the left foot down without arching the lower back, and then release the effort in the tummy. And so just going to do that once more. It looks such a small movement, or very little movement with the leg, but you'll feel, I can certainly feel, there's an awful lot of work going on with the control of the pelvis and the tummy and the ribs. So again, take a breath in, exhale, bring yourself into that 12 o'clock position and stay there. Try to keep the ribs soft so your back is heavy into the floor. And then inhale to pick the right leg in towards the chest. Keep it there, and then exhale, bring the left leg in to join it too. And now see if you can reach once more the right toes down towards the mat. They don't have to touch. And then exhale, bring them back in. And then the left toes down towards the mat. Exhale to come back in. And now the ball of the right foot reaches down towards the floor. Exhale, come back in. The ball of the left foot reaches down towards the mat. Exhale, come back in. And now the heel of the right leg, it makes you work even more in the tummy when you think of the heel. Exhale, come back in. And then the left heel reaches down, and then exhale, come back in. Now carefully put the right foot all the way back down without losing control in the pelvis, and then the left foot comes all the way back down without losing control, and then you let the pelvis return to its neutral position. Now pause there, separate the feet a little bit more, so about shoulder width apart this time, and begin to tilt your right knee to the inside, and then bring it back to standing. And then tilt the left knee to the inside, and then bring it back to standing. So the right knee tilts to the inside as if it's going to slide down the left lower leg towards the floor, and the left knee can tilt out a little bit, and then you bring it back to standing, and then the left knee as though it's going to slide down the right lower leg towards where that right foot is, and then you bring it back to standing. Good. And now once more the right knee, so as the knee tilts to the inside, it's as though the thigh is lengthening away from you towards the knee, and then you come back, and then the left knee goes to the inside as if it's lengthening away from you, and then you come back. Good. And so just once more, right knee lengthens away, the left knee can tilt out to the side to help you now, and come back, and then the left knee tilts to the inside. And what you'll feel as you're doing this is how the lower back on the left hand side begins to arch to accommodate the position of the knee. Actually, let's just do one more with each leg. So right knee, you tilt it to the inside as though it's trying to find the floor near the left foot, and then you come back, and then the left knee tilts to the inside as though it's trying to find the floor by the right foot, and then you come back to centre. Now pause, and then cross your right leg over the left, so a good cross of the thighs. Have the arms by your side to begin with, just comfortably by the side, and begin to tilt your knees a little bit to the right, and then exhale, come back. So just tilting the knees to the right as you're breathing in, and then exhale, come back to centre. Now imagine you have a cane or a dowel attached between the tip of your nose and your knees, and you're going to roll the head and eyes with the knees to the right, and then exhale, come back to centre. So you're trying not to drop the imaginary cane between your nose and your knees, which means that the nose and the knees have to leave your midline together and come back together at the same time. Just one more like this. See if you can keep your left shoulder down as you're exploring this. And now, forget the cane, and as the knees tilt to the right, look with the head and eyes to the left, and then you come back to centre. So as the knees tilt to the right, the head and eyes look to the left, still keeping that left shoulder down. Exhale, come back to centre. Knees to the right, head and eyes to the left, and then come back to centre. Now pause and change the cross of the legs, so it's your left is crossed over right, and put the imaginary cane between your nose and your knees again. So as the knees go to the left as you breathe in, so does the head and eyes. Exhale, come back, and again knees and nose and eyes to the left, keeping the right shoulder down. Exhale, come back to centre, and one more time like that, checking the jaw is nice and relaxed. Exhale, come back to centre. And now as the knees go to the left, look with the head and eyes to the right, and then exhale, come back to centre. And again, knees to the left but head and eyes to the right. Exhale, come back to centre. And now could you have the knees and the eyes go to the left but head to the right, and then exhale, come back to centre. So knees and eyes to the left but head to the right if possible, and then exhale, come back to centre. And then one more time like that, knees and eyes to the left but head to the right, and then exhale, come back to centre. Good. and then please uncross the legs, roll to the side and come up to sit facing the front. So if you can sit with your feet and knees about shoulder width apart and have your hands just supporting you just by behind the hips. And you want to have your fingers, if possible, facing forward rather than having turned to face the space behind you. So fingers facing forward, and that enables the elbows to soften. And then begin to tilt your left knee to the inside and then come back to centre, and then begin to tilt the right knee to the inside and then come back to centre. So the left knee tilts to the inside, the right knee will tilt to the outside, and again here it's as though your thigh, the left thigh, is lengthening towards the knee, towards the floor, just in front of the right foot, and then you come back to centre. And then the right knee tilts to the inside again as though it's trying to find the floor just in front of that other foot, and then come back to centre. And as you're doing this, so as the left knee tries to find the floor, push out that spot 2 inches below the navel, and then when you bring the legs back, pull in that spot 2 inches below the navel. So now it's the right knee trying to find the floor, push out that spot 2 inches below the navel, pull it in to come back to centre. So by pushing out the tummy, it helps that knee to present to the floor, and then suddenly your left hand can become light, and then you come back, and then you go in the other direction, pushing out the tummy, so the right hand can become light, and then you come back. So we just go to the other side. So again, push out the tummy to help that knee present to the floor, and see, can you bring your left hand over to the floor on the right, and then you come back, and then you go to the other side, pushing out the tummy, the right hand tries to find the floor over on the right. Pull in the tummy to help you come back, going to the other side, so it's the left hand tries to find the floor over on the right. Good. And then once you get there, stay there if you can, and just see, if you wanted to, could you lift the pelvis to bring the weight, to present the weight towards the knees, and then you let the pelvis find the floor again, and then you come back, and then we'll go to the other side. So push out the tummy to help bring you into this side sitting position. The hand goes round to the side. And just think, could you just lift the pelvis a little bit to present the weight towards the knees, and then you come back. Good. And then once more to the other side. So you transition, with transitioning weight you bring the hand round, find a good place for it. Could you lift the pelvis to present the weight to the knees, and come back, and then we'll go to the other side. So again, feel how you transition to the side. So you bring the hand round, you lift the pelvis to present the weight to the knees, and then some of you will be able to bring that right foot round to the hands, and then you take it back in an arc to where it came from. You come back, and then we'll go to the other side. So the hand goes round, the left hand goes round. Can you lift the pelvis to present the weight to the knees, and then bring your left leg round towards the hands, and then you take that knee back, come back, and then come back. Now pause, come all the way onto all fours into this cat's position, this cat-cow position, as it say, hands are underneath the shoulder. Now take a breath in, and as you breathe out, round the back and sit back towards the heels. And then look forward, and come back onto all fours. So again, you take a breath in, you round the back to sit back towards the heels, letting the head go, and then you look forward to begin to bring yourself back onto all fours. Now stay looking forward this time and just sit your bottom back towards your heels. That's it, looking forward, or wherever you can comfortably get, and then come forward again onto all fours. And then the next time, sit your bottom back towards your right heel if possible, and then come forward. And then the next time, as you breathe it out, sit the pelvis back towards the left heel, and then come forward. And then once more, sit the bottom back towards the right heel. See if you can stay there and just hover the pelvis above the heel. Just wriggle the bottom a little bit from side to side, as if you're trying to polish that heel with the bottom. And then see if you can come forward again onto all fours and send the pelvis back towards your left heel, or wherever you can comfortably get, and just see if you can polish the heel with the bottom there. Good. And then come forward. And then once more, send the pelvis back towards the right heel, and as you do that, see if you can slide the left leg away from you until that knee just goes beyond the other foot, and then you come back onto all fours. And then see if you can send the pelvis back towards the left heel as you slide the right leg away from you, and then you come back onto all fours. And then once more, send the pelvis back towards the right heel, slide the left leg away from you. And if you need to walk the hands in a little bit, that's absolutely fine. But see, can you just sort of, as if there were pelvis, you're just going to trying to find the floor by the heel, and then you lift the pelvis to bring yourself back, and then you come back onto all fours. And then send the pelvis back towards the left heel, slide the other leg away from you. And if you need to walk the hands in, that's absolutely fine. But just as if you're, again, just trying to test the temperature of the water with the tailbone as you lower it towards the floor. And then bring the pelvis back, and then come back onto all fours. And then from here, again, just sit the bottom back towards the heels. And this time, see if you can just slide the hands in to get that stretch in the front of the shin. And then bring the hands forward, curl the toes under, and just see, can you walk the hands back again, but this time sitting on the heels to collect that stretch in the toes, plantar side of the foot, and then come forward, point the toes once more, and just allow the bottom to sit back towards the heels, get that stretch for the shin and the thighs, and then come forward again, curl the toes under, and then once more just sit the bottom back on the heels if you can. There, good. And then come forward onto all fours, and just see, can you lift the left side of the pelvis just to lift that knee off the floor, and then put it down. And then lift the right knee off the floor, just off the floor, not out to the side, and then put it back down. Just let the bottom sit back towards the heels once more, and then come forward again, lift the left side of the pelvis, and just, can you swing that foot forward by the hands, and then take it back. And then lift the right knee an inch or so off the floor, and swing that foot forward by the hands, and then take the foot back. Good. And then point the fingers towards each other, soften the elbows, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, slide the right hand away from you on the floor as you look towards the ceiling. Take a breath in, as you exhale, come back to center. And then the other side, take a breath in. As you exhale, slide the left hand away from you on the floor as you're looking towards the ceiling, trying to bring the shoulder down. Inhale, and then exhale, come back. And then once more each side. So you take a breath in, exhale, slide the right arm away from you towards the left. Inhale, and then exhale, come back. And then the other side, take a breath in. As you exhale, reach the left arm away from you as you look towards the floor. Inhale, and then exhale, come back. and then please come and take a rest on the back. Have your knees bent up, knees bent, feet about again, hip width apart or shoulder width apart, and have the arms just long by your side. And then take a breath in, so good breath into the tummy, into the chest. As you breathe out, press your feet firmly down into the floor to begin to get the pelvis to curl to that 12 o'clock position, and then release. Good. So again, take a breath in. As you exhale, press the feet evenly down into the floor to get that curl in the pelvis, and then inhale to release back down. Now we're going to take that a bit further. So you take a breath in. As you exhale, press the feet solidly down into the floor to initiate that curl in the spine, and then see if you can begin to peel the spine off the mat vertebrae by vertebrae until the pressure transfers to that area just around the shoulder blades. You inhale there, and as you exhale, see if you can soften from the breastbone end of the spine to peel your spine back down, keeping that C shape until the lower back lands, and then you release into neutral. So again, you take a breath in. As you exhale, press the feet evenly down into the floor to get that curl to peel up. Inhale at the top, and then as you exhale, slowly peel the spine back down till the lower back lands, and then you release into neutral. Just to remind you, you need to be careful not to turn this into a bridge as you explore the movements. Again, take a breath in. As you exhale, press into the feet. So you want to get that sense the tailbone is curling up between your legs towards the ceiling, and it stays like that when you come up. Now as you inhale, careful not to push the ribs up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, soften the spine back down, vertebrae after vertebrae. Now take the arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. You want a long but soft arm, so don't jam into the elbows or stiffen into the wrists. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press down into the feet evenly to begin to curl up. Again, vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale, and then as you exhale, soften the spine back down. That's it, till the lower back lands, and you release into neutral. One more like this. Take a good breath in. As you exhale, press down into the feet evenly to come up. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, peel all the way back down to release. Good. Now bring the arms back down by the side, and please roll to the side to just explore some leg exercises. So I'm going to lie on my left side, which is the one nearest facing the screen. If you need a bit of support underneath the head, please take it. But otherwise, begin by having both knees bent up. You can also support the head in the underneath arm, and the top arm just somewhere in front to support you. The idea is you want the hips stacked on the hip and the shoulder above the shoulder, as opposed to being turned towards the floor. Now please keep your underneath leg bent and lengthen your top leg away from you. So top leg is long in line with the hip, and bottom leg is bent. Good. So you begin, you inhale to flex, for me it's the right foot, and then exhale to lift just till it's above hip height. Inhale to point the foot, and then exhale to carefully lower. So you inhale to flex. So toes are facing forward, knees are facing forward. Exhale to lift just till it's just above the line of the hip. Inhale to point the foot, and then exhale to lengthen and lower. So again, inhale to flex, exhale to lengthen and lift. Inhale to point the foot, exhale to carefully lower. Again, really as you flex, try to send the heel away. What that does, it helps to stabilize all the muscles around the kneecap. As you exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to point the foot, and then exhale to slowly lower. Got one more to do like this. Inhale to flex, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to point the foot, exhale to lower. Now we take that a little bit further, so inhale to flex, exhale to lengthen and lift. Now come forward with a flex, as though sliding the leg on an imaginary glass table. Inhale to point the foot and sweep the leg back in a big arc till it goes just behind the line of the hip. Inhale, flex to sweep it forward, good. Oh, sorry, exhale to flex and sweep it forward. Inhale to point and take it back in a big arc. Again, come forward with a flex and go back with a point, and come forward with a flex and then go back with a point. Now come forward with a flex to wherever you can comfortably hold it, and then lift for 5, a couple of inches, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the leg back a little bit, but so it's between that position and down by the side, and again lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it back in line with the hip, and again 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then carefully lower. Now bring that top leg in front of you so it can be long or slightly bent. Lengthen your underneath leg away from you, and the heel is pointing a little bit up towards the ceiling. And it's really important, again, you think of lengthening that underneath leg. So you inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift, and then inhale to lower. Again, so inhale to lengthen, exhale to lift. Now inhale to hold, and then exhale to lower. So inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to hold, and then exhale to lower. Again, once more, inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to hold, and then exhale to lower. Now once more, inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift. Now keep it up, and then just pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, and then exhale to lower. One more, inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift, hold, and then pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to hold, and then exhale to lower. Good. Now bend both knees in front of you, bend both knees, and then bring your attention to your top leg, so the knees are bent up comfortably in front of you, and begin just to keep the knees together, but lift the top foot away from the bottom, and then lower it back down. So you're just lifting the top foot away from the bottom, and then lowering it back down. And what you'll feel as you're lifting the foot, keeping the knees together, is how the femur, the thigh bone, turns internally as you to help you lift the foot. But you'll also feel, maybe even if you put your hand on the hip, how the pelvis can roll a little bit forward and up to assist with the lifting of the foot. And allow that to happen. So as the foot lifts, you allow this sense of movement in the pelvis. Good. Now pause, keep the foot down, and now lift the top knee away from the bottom one, and then lower it back down. So you're just lifting the top knee away from the bottom one, and then lowering it back down. Now, as you lift the knee, feel how the pelvis, for me it's the right side of the pelvis, can move back and away to assist with the lifting of the knee. You see, if you keep the pelvis very still, you'll feel it mostly in the smaller hip muscles, but you want to feel as though your pelvis is moving, and then if you allow the pelvis to move, it makes the leg feel super light. Good. Now pause, and then alternate, lifting first the foot, letting the pelvis roll forward and up, put the foot down and lift the knee. So knee comes down, you lift the foot, foot goes down and you lift the knee. Once more, foot lifts and then the knee lifts, good, and then release, good. Now pause and then bring your arms in front of you, both arms one on top of the other. So I've got a little pillow that will just help to support the head. So that one knee is topped on the other, and your right hand, if you're on your left side, is on top of the left. Now begin to stroke the right fingers along the left arm towards the chest, and as you do that, let the elbow lift up towards the ceiling, and then you come back. So you're just as though you're caressing now. We're doing the reverse of the early movement, the right fingers along the left arm towards the chest, and then you come back. So you begin to caress the right arm along yourself towards the chest. You allow the head and eyes to turn, and then some of you will be able to take that right elbow to the floor behind you, and then open the arm as you look towards the right hand, and then you come back. So you just do what you can. So I'm caressing the right fingers along the left arm towards my breastbone, so effectively the chest turns, the head turns towards the ceiling, and then I continue to unfold the right arm behind me to take me into quite a deep twist, and then come back. Just do one more like that, so reaching, opening out the chest towards the ceiling, turning the head and eyes, and then come back. Good. Now pause and then lengthen your right leg down and long and away from you once more. So the right leg, mind to say the top leg is down and long and away from me. Good. And now see, can you begin to lengthen that leg as though you're sliding the right leg away from you on the floor, and then you release. So as though I'm pushing the leg away from me on the floor, and then release. So as I do that, I can feel how my ribs on the underneath side are picking up away from the floor, and if I wanted to take this further, slide the leg away from me, it could bring me up into a sitting position. And then to come back down, I support myself with my hands and soften back down, and then bring the legs on top of each other. Once more, reach the leg long and away from you, keep reaching through the legs. You allow the head to hang to bring you up to sitting, and then we walk the hands back down. Feel how the ribs and the chest have to soften to bring you back onto the back. Good. Please come and lie on your other side. So support the head however is comfortable for you. Have the knees bent up to begin with, and then please lengthen your top leg. And then bottom leg is bent just for a bit of balance. So the top leg is just in line with the hip, the knees and the toes are facing forward. Now inhale to flex the top foot, exhale to lengthen and lift till it's just above the line of the hip, inhale to point the foot, and then exhale to lengthen and lower. Inhale to flex, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to point, and then exhale to lower. Inhale to flex, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to point, exhale to lengthen and lower. Excuse me, inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to point, and then exhale to lower. Good. Inhale to flex, exhale to lengthen and lift. Now inhale to hold as you sweep it forward in an arc. Inhale to point the foot and take it back in a big arc. Inhale to flex and bring it forward in an arc. Inhale to point and take it back in an arc just behind the line of the hip. Inhale to flex and slide it forward on that imaginary glass table. Inhale to point and take it back in an arc. Again, inhale to flex and bring it forward. Inhale to point and take it back in an arc. Now come forward again with the flex and hold, and then just lift and lower a couple of inches for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it back about 25 degrees, and again 5, 4, the heel is leading, 2, 1, and once more bring it back, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then carefully lower. And then bring that top leg forward, lengthen the underneath leg long and away from you, and you really want to think of lengthening through that underneath leg. And then you inhale to lengthen the leg, exhale to lengthen and lift. Inhale to hold, and then exhale to lower. So you inhale to lengthen it away on the floor, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to hold, and then exhale to lower. So again, inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to hold, and then exhale to lengthen and lower. Once more, inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift, inhale to hold, and then exhale to lower. Again, inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift and hold, and now pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, and then lengthen to lower. Again, inhale to lengthen, exhale to lengthen and lift, and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, and then carefully lower. Bring the legs forward again, one on top of the other. Again, if you want to have the hand on the outer hip, top hand on the outer hip, just to give you some feedback, that's fine. And now begin to lift the top foot, keeping the knees together, letting the pelvis roll forward and up. Put the foot down and lift the knee, letting the pelvis roll down and away from you. So again, knees together, lifting the foot. Put the foot down, lift the knee, letting the pelvis move. So again, knee down, lift the foot. Foot down, lift the knee. Get this lovely opening on the top side when you really let that pelvis go back. That's it. So again, good. Once more, knee down, foot lifts, foot down, knee lifts. Good. Now pause, stay with the legs bent up. Bring the arms in front of you at shoulder height, just shoulder height, one palm on top of the other, and then begin to caress the left arm along the right as you let the elbow bend to see, can you begin to take that arm further behind you, turning the head and eyes to come into a twist. Bring the top hand back, caressing it along yourself. That's it. So you may not be able to go into a full twist to begin with, so you just do what you comfortably can, turning the head and eyes, and then you come back in the same way. So left fingers as though they're just, tracing a line along the right arm, along the chest, the elbow bends to find the floor behind you as you unfold the arm, and then you reverse that movement. Good. And then we'll just do one more like that, reaching, that's it, twisting. Such a lovely twist to do on a Monday morning, and then come back. Now pause, keep your bottom leg bent up, lengthen the top leg down and away from you once more. And just see what you can do to begin to slide that leg away from you and release long and away. Feel how your underneath ribs have to pick up away from the floor to really help to slide that leg away. And once you've got used to it, you can begin to continue to slide the leg away from you to bring you up into a sitting position maybe. And then see if you can come back down. That's it, onto the side. So take your time. I'm showing the full movement. You don't have to do the full movement. You use your hands, you walk the hands in to come up to a sitting position, and then once more walk your hands back down to come back up. Good. And again, just once more, reach the top leg down and away from you. Good. And then when the knee, that top knee is just beyond your foot, the right foot, stay there Turn the chest towards the floor till you're back into this side sitting position, and then see, can you lift the pelvis to bring you onto all fours. That's it. Good. And then curl your toes under, walk the hands back towards the knees, lower the head, lift the knees and the bottom to bring the heels down, and then slowly roll up through the spine to come up.